Join me in the fight against child abuse and be part of something truly meaningful. Whether you choose to run, walk, or simply come out to cheer on friends and participants, your presence makes a difference. All proceeds from this event directly support Child Watch and its vital work in the treatment and prevention of child abuse. Together, we can help create safer, stronger communities for our children. Come out, get involved, and make an impact. The 5K, 3.1 mile, event will begin at 5 p.m. near the Anderson Technical Building. At approximately 4:50 p.m., the MC will announce that all 5K participants should proceed to the starting line. Participants will then line up in preparation for the start of the race. Professor Reese will be positioned at the start line with a horn, and an escort vehicle will be stationed approximately 50 yards ahead of the runners to guide the course. At 5 p.m., Professor Reese will signal the official start by sounding the horn, and participants will begin their 3.1-mile journey. The 5K will begin at the painted crosswalk indicated on the map. From there, participants, led by the escort vehicle, will proceed east along PCC Drive toward the main campus, passing the intersection of Old Friendship Road. They will continue straight through the O'Hara Drive intersection. Runners will then follow the route around Garrett Drive before turning left onto the sidewalk along Highway 62, Alban Barkley Drive. Upon reaching the entrance at PCC Drive, participants will turn left into the entrance, keeping to the left side. The volunteer stationed at this point should remind participants to stay to their left as they make the turn. This marks the completion of Loop 1. Loop 2 is shorter than Loop 1. The person stationed at the post at the intersection of Garrett and O'Hara Drive, traffic control point number 3, must make sure all Loop 2 participants turn left onto O'Hara Drive and proceed toward Highway 62. At the intersection of O'Hara Drive and Highway 62, participants will turn left or west back toward the Anderson Technical Building. At the entrance to the Anderson Building, the participants will again turn left and cross the finish line as shown. It is important that the person posted at Traffic Control Point 1 makes sure the runners stay right and cross the finish line into the finish chute. Here is the map showing both loops of the 5K. The red loop is the first loop. The yellow loop is the second and final loop. The persons posted at Traffic Control Points number 1 and number 3 have important roles and must make sure they understand how participants are directed. The person at post number 1 must direct Loop 1 participants to turn into the exit lane of the boulevard at PCC Drive, keep to their left, and continue to the left of the finish line for Loop 2. When participants are finishing Loop 2, the person at post number 1 must direct participants toward the finish line. The person at post number 3 must direct Loop 1 participants to stay straight and loop around Garrett Drive. The person at post 3 must also direct participants in Loop 2 to turn left toward Highway 62. These directions are extremely important to avoid confusion. The fun run, walk, is open to both children and adults. While many adults choose to walk the course, children often elect to run. The event will begin after the final participant in the 5K has crossed the finish line, typically around 6 p.m. At that time, the MC will instruct all fun run, walk, participants to proceed to the starting line, which is the same as the 5K starting line. Before the start, the individual assigned to Traffic Control Point number 3 will walk west along Garrett Drive to a designated location near the tennis courts, where a cone is positioned along the side of the street. This cone should then be moved to the center of the roadway and placed on a clearly marked X. The Traffic Control Point number 3 volunteer will remain at this location to guide participants at the turnaround point. The fun run, walk, follows an out and back course. Participants will travel approximately 1/2 mile to the turnaround point, circle the cone under the direction of the Traffic Control Point number 3 volunteer, and then return along the same route to the finish line. The starting and finish lines are at the same location, as indicated on the course map. The fun run/walk is not timed. The first 5 children to cross the finish line will receive awards. 5 volunteers will be chosen to identify finishers by writing their names on index cards and giving these cards to the person announcing the awards. For example, If volunteer Daniel is assigned to the third place finisher, he will have index card number 3. After the third place finisher crosses the finish line, Daniel will approach the child, ask for their name, and write it on the index card. He will then hand the card to the person in charge of awards. Professor Durbin, Professor Reese, and I want to give a huge, heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for stepping up and volunteering for this event. We couldn't do this without you, and we're excited to have you on the team. We hope this video gives you a clear picture of your role during the race. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask Professor Reese, his wife Stephanie, Professor Durbin, or any of our seasoned volunteers. They're a great resource and always happy to help. Make no mistake, what you're doing today truly matters. Because of your time, your energy, and your willingness to serve, we are making a real difference in the lives of children in our community. Together, we are helping support efforts to prevent abuse and neglect, and that's something to be proud of. So thank you again for being here, for bringing your energy, and for making an impact. Let's have a great event.